pill. You stay in Wonderland, and I show you how deep the rabbit hole goes.
Hey guys, and welcome to Dark Arts Podcast. Yes, we are on that final week. You've made it all the way till the end. You've reached the final boss. The very last test that women are going to give men, the very last test is actually what you've actually learned and not repeating the same mistakes. That is the greatest test that a woman will give you, and she's not involved. It is actually all about you. If you're willing to repeat the same cycles, then you are going to encounter the same wrong women. And then that means you failed actually all the tests. And actually, you're not going to proceed any further. You're going to find yourself in a circular motion. I told you my story for the past 5 weeks. And in week 6, here's what I learned by the end of that conversation. I realized by the end of that conversation, this person didn't care about me. They were disrespectful, and all they cared about was themselves. And in fact, I gave them one last chance at the end of that call. I said, if you still want to be friends, let's see what you do. And in the end, they showed me who they were. So I guess what I had to do, I had to respect it, honor it, and move on. Because I was not about to repeat the same old cycle. And I want that same thing for you. The lesson that has to be learned for you is to defeat the final boss is to understand that you are the final boss. That is, you must level up what you are and what you were and become something new. Like the phoenix rising from the ashes. Okay, so we're going to talk about what you experienced in the last 5 weeks and then give you a little bit of instructions in terms of how to make sure we're not ending up in those same cycles. If you don't learn from the past, you are doomed to repeat it. And every mistake that you make in dating, whether it's ignoring disrespect or allowing manipulation or failing to set boundaries, teaches you a critical lesson. The problem is most men don't learn. But I don't believe that you're in that category. You are the men who are going to learn. And you're going to keep not making these same mistakes because you're going to keep learning and keep growing. And in this episode, let's just go back over what we actually learned. In episode 1, we talk about the silent test. Women will test you to stand by your values and to make sure that you never justify yourself to them. Don't justify yourself. If that's your value, that is your value. In episode 2, we said the mind reading trap. How women want you to read their minds and they want you to they expect you to know, right? Which is a setup. Okay, it's a losing game. But we said call it out directly. You can't read minds, but you understand how direct communication works in both of your favors. Then episode 3, we spoke about the passive mistake, right? The ghosting that happens, letting small disrespect continue and not actually addressing it, right? The fix was to address those issues as you go. In episode 4, we spoke about the art of accountability, right? How women will use accountability and deflect from it in order to not address the issue. And we said, stick to the facts, don't rise up and become emotional, and actually stick to what happened. That was our fix. In episode 5, we spoke about the guilty comeback, the call, the text, the message, whatever it was, the way that they're coming back to you now, trying to have a conversation. It was all about access and all about their own guilt, not about you. And we said, recognize the difference between genuine interest and guilt-driven contact. And the way that we did that was by knowing what she was willing to change. Was she accountable? Was she sorry? Did she understand where she went wrong? That's what we covered in the last 5 weeks. Listen, every mistake has a pattern. And if you don't correct it, you will keep doing the same things and having frustrations, same disrespect, and same emotional roller coasters. You can complain about the women in the market of dating all you want, but the question is, have you learned? The question is, are you doing things differently? The question is, are you willing to change from where you were previously? The question is, are you willing and able to have a different input to get a different output? That's the question you have to ask yourself. All right. You are now going through what we call an upgrade. You're going through a transformation. The old you has to pass away for the new to come. You see, in order to upgrade, you must recognize that the software is old. You must recognize this is in need of transformation. And that is what happens when you learn those lessons and you internalize it and then begin to make it a part of your truth, live by it, and walk it out. You must enforce your own standards. So again, going back to the fact that you are your final boss level and that every woman has taught you through their bad behavior what you are willing to do and not do. And them being there and helping shape and mold a better you. If anything, show some gratitude, right? Appreciate the fact that you went through those things. Yeah, I didn't like it, but I appreciate the fact that it shaped me to be better and stronger, more clever, more smarter, to be more direct, right? Without being rude, but just direct and being assertive. Okay. So if you're serious about breaking cycles, here are some of the lessons we can apply in real time. Number one, self-reflection. Look back at your dating experiences. I say the best people who are the best people that are married and those people who are dating well are people who are scientists. They observe themselves. They go back over and look at their notes and see what was my thesis. How did the results play out? Okay, what needs to change so I get different results? That is what a good scientist will end up doing. You need to be one of those. Raise your standards. Stop tolerating behavior that you once let slide. No longer are we doing that. We are addressing it as we go. We're no longer going to be conflict avoidant. We're addressing it there and then. It may feel uncomfortable, but it's part of our growth to stretch. And so you have to walk away when necessary, but address when needs to be addressed. Otherwise, you'll be undressed. Number three, master communication. Master being direct and assertive without necessarily being rude and being aggressive. Okay, all right, and never justify your worth. Number four, embrace growth. It's understandable that you are going for a transitional period right now. If you're watching this content, understand that you must embrace the growth that you're going through. The men who win in relationships are the ones that are willing to expand, to stretch, and to grow. And you are one of those people. You are evolving like a Pokemon. If you know what you know, you know. Okay, from Charmander to Charmeleon to Charizard. Okay, this isn't about being perfect. It is about you leveling up and becoming a brand new man. We do not do what women do. We are men. So we lead from the front. We do not follow their lead. We do not allow ourselves to behave as them and that be our complaint. You did it, so I'm going to do it. No. We lead because we understand that we have a vision and a blueprint for our lives, and we want her to follow in those same footsteps. So I'm going to teach you through my behavior, not what I said. I hope that made sense. In fact, I know it made sense. All right. So if you're ready to transform your dating experiences, make sure you've liked, share, subscribed. If you're looking to set boundaries and attract higher quality men, then this is the time to apply for my coaching program. Because, like I said, my main thing is to help you level up mentally and emotionally, and to really address the foundational issues that men tend to have that makes them fold like a lawn chair in Alabama. Okay. I'll help you master confidence, communication, and leadership in relationships. There's a link in the description. Let's work together. Look, I've enjoyed this series, and maybe I'll do another one based on this particular story when I have more ideas for it. But I really hope it's actually helped you guys grow, maneuver, and strengthen your position when it comes to your masculine frame and understanding how you can hold someone accountable without it becoming a crazy fest. Okay? All right. So it's been great. It's been wonderful. It's been amazing. And I'm going to have to love you and leave you. But listen, one last thing. Remember to hold your frame. Remember that being masculine is not about being rude or aggressive. It's about being assertive and direct and knowing what you want and never compromising on those things. Going and getting what you actually want. Do not settle. I appreciate you guys. Stay locked, loaded, and we'll be back with another series very soon.